Hey students, good morning. Welcome to week 4 of Writing 1301 in our 8-week session. So we're halfway through, which is why your first assignment is due this week. My job in the video today is just to get you ready for Wednesday. So I'm going to take you to our 8-week class plan, back to Blackboard, show you some resources, give you a sense for what to expect when coming to class today, and then we'll be done, really. I don't have a full lecture because most of the resources are either available in your textbook or available on Blackboard, as I'll show you. Certainly you can come to office hours today and answer questions or ask questions, and I will be available via email and Teams throughout this week. You might see my dog in the background. She's particularly frisky this morning and playing with the cats. So if that happens in the background, it's distracted. Just a preemptive apologies. Okay, so let's go to our schedule for this week. So you'll notice, or you may have noticed, that last Wednesday when we met in class and went into the computer room, I left a couple things uncovered. So thesis statements particularly, and introductions. I think I actually wanted to move those to this week because once you have your outline or draft ready on Wednesday, it'll be much easier to go back and talk about thesis statements, talk about introductions, once you actually know where you're going with the paper. So we'll talk about that more actually on Wednesday this week, though there are resources in the textbook for both of those if you want to go ahead and make sure you're doing it correctly. So thesis statements are in the Clear Lake section on page CL30. And then our introductions are also in the Clear Lake section on page CL25. Remember that the CL part in our Insider's Guide to Academic Writing is the front part of the textbook that's created by UHCL faculty. And then for Wednesday, remember that you are coming to class already prepared with either a draft. A full draft would be, I'd say, at least 3 good paragraphs. 3 to 4 good paragraphs is a solid draft start. These can be your introduction paragraphs and a couple body paragraphs, or they can be all body paragraphs if that's what you're ready for at the moment. But you want to have at least a good couple pages that we can work with to give you feedback for the draft. You also might choose to do an outline. I'm personally an outliner, so kind of putting everything in order in a space where you can move it around and see it. Make sure you have the evidence that you need to support the claims that you want to claim in each paragraph. Or if you have too much evidence and you want to split it into multiple paragraphs, you can see that through your outline. But you need to have one of those, either a developed draft or a fully developed outline for the whole paper when you come to class on Wednesday. Remember that on Wednesday, we're going to meet on the 3rd floor, 3607 in our computer lab instead of going to the main classroom first. We'll be in the computer lab the whole time. So then I'll add a video on, after this one, I'll add a video on getting to OWL Purdue and showing up for the APA style, specifically how to format your title page for the essay. We'll work on references on Wednesday when I can be in a space where I can talk to you each about how to cite your individual sources. If you understand the video on APA formatting, then go ahead and do the title page for your outline or for your draft. That way we can turn it into the full paper and you'll already have the title page covered. And then we'll just work in the computer lab on Wednesday, getting everything ready to go so you can turn that paper in by the following Monday. There will still be work to do in advance of our next Wednesday's class. So you'll get that video on Monday as well, and we'll start to turn to the final major project, which is a pretty big comprehensive group project that requires both group work and individual writing work. So keep your shoes tied tight, and we'll keep going towards the back end of the class. As I mentioned, thesis statements have some resources in the textbook, introductions have some resources in the textbook, and then I'll do a different video on APA OWL. Let me go back to our Blackboard so you can see that content. Oh, I want to actually go down one more. All right, let me open this back up. So now you have our Blackboard page. In the lectures and handout section, as I mentioned, everything is organized according to how we address it in class, the order of address. This was the ICE information from last week. We'll review it also on Wednesday when you have some points of evidence that you are bringing in from your sources. We talked about ethos, pathos, logos last week. This is the link for going to OWL Purdue that you'll see in the next video. And then this is a sample essay from OWL. It's a little bit more comprehensive than the essays that we're going to write. We're starting with a rhetorical analysis, and this is a full research paper, but it will show you the title page and the heading and what that should look like. So that's available for you on Blackboard as well as you prepare your essay. Skip these two at the end because I don't actually think I have them set to show up for you. We'll come back to it if we need to, but you can see we've covered all the major writing assignments at this point in the class. So all the major writing skills at this point in the class. So the back end of the course is really going to be just practicing those. So you have those accessible resources. Let me know if you have any questions and I'll do the APA video now. See you in class on Wednesday.